at this. People
Jenny.
actually showed up. Thanks for showing
That's
up,
cool.
guys.
Hi, guys.
Nobody wants to sit in the front. There's reserved seats. That means none of our friends showed up.
Yeah, they bailed.
Yeah.
One did.
Yeah, one friend texted us. She said she's coming in 45 minutes if that's okay.
Yeah.
So
should we?
I guess that's okay.
Anyone want to move up here?
Yeah, anyone want to move? Yeah, take
Anyone
our friends' seats.
Come on.
The people standing in the back,
Someone
or the people here.
if you have bad
shins,
if you got bad shins, come on up here.
Yeah.
And you're standing.
There you go.
There you go.
Is there any lights up here? I feel like you guys can't see our face.
There's
I don't
no
care about
lights.
my face, but you should see her face.
You should see my face.
Oh, thank you. So maybe everybody just hold up your cell
there aren't
phone.
any lights. Thank you.
There aren't any lights? Can we turn on this one maybe? All right, whatever. I'm going to stop directing stuff.
That's a cool
Let's
one.
just talk about
yeah,
some
that's
things.
tight. It's pretty tight.
Thanks. I didn't know that the Strand had a 10th floor.
No, I didn't even know what this is. What is this?
What is
building?
this place?
What is this building?
I don't know. I didn't enter through the front. It's a bookstore. It's like one of the biggest bookstores in the world or something.
Yes.
Right, Nicholas?
Yes.
We're just insulting your store that we're doing. What is this? A Barnes & Noble?
What is held here?
What is what?
What is held in this space?
Like cool people.
Literally nothing.
Huh?
This
It's
is
a storage floor.
You're gonna have us on the storage floor? That's tight.
But the word I heard, at least this is what my publicist Lissa here told me, is you know, they thought we weren't gonna have that many people.
Just 5 Asian people. Yeah.
You know, like they don't give us Asian people credit like that.
No, they
you know.
don't. They don't.
And they was gonna put us
don't.
on the second floor.
Yeah, the third floor.
But y'all ain't gonna
lit.
all fit in the second floor because you guys all showed up.
True.
So
That's
now,
true.
right now, we're on the 10th floor.
10th floor. But you know what? We would like the Jeffersons.
Are we the first
We're
Asian
moving
people
on
on the 10th floor? Yeah.
Was Bai Ling
thank
here
you.
recently, or?
Thank you.
Great.
Look at, see, white people showed up. This is
Yeah,
great.
we got some white people.
Yeah.
That's always tight. That's how you know it's bleeding
We
through.
made it,
We
you know?
made it.
Did you guys see me on Colbert last night? Is that why you guys came?
Oh,
yeah,
you
okay.
did?
Sick. Yeah, okay.
Tight.
Couple people. That was cool.
Yeah. You look great. You had a great suit with an eagle in it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, my boys, ESQ Clothing, I got to shout them out in Chicago.
Shout out.
They hooked it up. Asian hookup.
Asians will hook you up all the time.
And Boba, shout out to Boba guys out there. Do you
yeah.
guys, we'll get it later. They're great. They're hooking me up in like all the book tour events. So I'm doing New York for a week and then LA and then San Francisco. So this is really exciting. This is my first book signing.
That's
It's
why we don't know
weird.
what to
I don't
do.
even know what's going on.
That's why we're confused.
Yeah, we're confused. We're just generally
That's why we're
confused
just kind of
people.
winging it. Did you guys read the book or? It's a good
Well,
book.
yeah, they just bought it. I think they just bought it. That's the thing.
Okay, well, it's a
they,
good
they
read.
will.
It's a quick read. I don't know.
They will. They will.
Sorry.
The prologue was awesome.
Dope. Am I right?
Mike Judge wrote the foreword. That was really cool.
That was cool.
Yeah, Nora, you read the book. I gave you an advanced reader
I loved
copy.
the book.
Thank you.
I laughed. I cried. I felt bad because I think I told you I was like, it's really funny, but then I realized that like it's not funny. Like it's like it's so funny. I love it, and it's like really intense. Well,
at certain parts,
of
I think,
identity.
especially if you can relate to it, it could be because I wrote the book. I took some time off from stand-up to write the book, so I can like explore some like more truthful things and like the themes and like being an Asian, like kind of teetering between the two cultures. How do you still respect your parents and pursue your dreams at the same time? And that stuff is hard to put in a stand-up format. So that's one of the reasons. So I'm glad you felt both ways.
I love it. I mean, one of my favorite parts of the book is when you are coming to America for the first. I don't know if you'll read this. Can I reveal it? It's not like Gone Girl.
Well, they
this
bought
is not like a Gone Girl. Yeah,
look, they bought the book already. It's
Y'all
fine.
bought the book, right? It's a really good book. It looks great. No, one of my favorite parts is when you moved here when you were 13 from Los Angeles from China.
Hong Kong.
From
yeah,
Hong Kong.
China, yeah.
And you were doing the Pledge of Allegiance in your class, and you described it as like a cult. And I never thought about like what it would be like to, as a child, to like walk in on a Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh yeah.
As a non-American, you know what I mean?
It's like walking into like a Scientology center.
It would be. Everyone knows it. They're just like
A lot of things we take for granted. We just think it's normal. Like
homeroom.
Homeroom.
What you said about
like,
homeroom.
What the hell is homeroom? What is Pledge of
just a
Allegiance? PE class, even that's weird.
Yeah,
if you
PE
come
was
from a
weird.
different, culture. And locker rooms, I never had to change into my PE clothes. Like I think
You got naked in the locker rooms, huh?
Well, no.
Oh, okay, no.
What kind of school did you go to?
I went to.
Well, I mean, you could. That's an option. I think in high school you could.
There was that one kid that always gets naked in the locker room.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, why are you naked right now? Like, this is weird.
I think like the locker room thing was interesting because, well, first of all, I never had to change. I never had to get down to my underwear.
Right.
And you really like it's like I always think about this. Like, okay, I'm not trying to be crude here, but how would you know if you like wiping your ass properly? You won't, because you've only seen one person wipe your ass. That's yourself. You don't know how other people wipe their ass. You know, is it this way? Is it that way?
It's front to
like
back.
On the side, or you know.
Yeah, no, I
But
know.
so-
I feel you. People think they're killing it, but
so
they're not.
so you don't know until you see other people. So I never changed in front of other people.
Oh yeah.
Like aside from my parents.
Right.
And so I was wearing tighty whities because that's what like everybody wore in Hong Kong. But then everybody here wore boxers.
Right.
And like, you know, they'll call you like a different amount of like gay slangs for wearing like, you know, tighty whities.
But the kid still made you pull your pants down a little bit. But he was helping. He was helping you there.
Yeah, he was.
Because-
so the
yeah.
story was like he told me to like sag my pants. I had no idea what how would you know what sagging meant if you just came from Hong Kong, right?
He pulled him all the way down.
So he's like so then he was like, just pull down your pants. So I'm like, oh man, like am I gonna get raped? Like what is? So this is like how you get jumped into like the LA Unified School District, you know?
Right.
Pulled it all the way down to my knees, and he was like, no, pull it up, man. Like, you know, it's not cool. So I like sagged my pants, my tighty whities. So like just little things, like even the difference between like boxers and tighty whities, it gets lost in translations when you move to a different continent, you know?
Yeah. There's more of a hold with one, you know.
A hold?
It hugs it a little bit. It's more huggable. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
now I only wear Uniqlo Airisms. They're not paying me.
Oh,
but,
okay.
like,
You
they're the
all
only-
right?
They're the only thing I wear.
That's pretty tight. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so did like after that you were a strip club DJ, right?
Not immediately. I wasn't a strip club DJ when I was 14.
So you immediately went from sagging your
I
pants.
mean, I would have liked to be. You know, eventually I did. I think it was during a phase where a lot of you, I don't know, like who's like in the arts here? Is there anybody like a musician, stand up?
I was 4.
Yeah, great, awesome. What do you do?
Great.
You're an actress.
Great.
Great, that's awesome. You don't.
We need more. You know what I mean?
You know,
we need more.
they are.
All right.
They always say you don't. See, are you theater actors? Like, are you going to school for it or?
Tight.
That's great. See, she's.
She's
I
doing it.
mean, did your parents support that decision or?
Your mom
Or
supported.
you adopted or
That's
something?
cute.
Like what?
That's really cute.
Wow, that's great.
So those rare
Because
cases.
to me, like my parents, like my dad straight up told me like, pursuing your dreams, that's not a thing. Like that's how you become homeless.
Right.
Right.
We
Like,
still might.
well, I mean, I currently am. I think. No, but it's a weird cultural thing because I get it. Like they grew up. I'm first generation. I moved here when I was 13. So they grew up like during the Cultural Revolution in China. My dad wanted to go to university. He couldn't. He wanted to get a degree. He couldn't. He wanted to get a real job. He couldn't. So when I got a degree, that's all he wanted. So when I had the opportunity to actually go get a real job, he was happy. But to me, I come from a different generation where I want to go pursue my dreams, you know.
Right.
But he doesn't understand that. So I think, you know.
But one of the most heartbreaking aspects of one of the most heartbreaking scenes of the book, I call it a scene, is when you talk about going to MGM with your parents at age 10.
Yeah.
And then later you performed there in one of like their
Yep.
biggest rooms, and your dad was
Because
like,
you know
it's not
Asian
even
parents love the MGM in Vegas.
They don't even gamble; they just use the voucher. They take the Chinese bus.
That's seriously.
That's how
what
they
all
retire.
that's what my parents did.
That's what my grandma does.
You go to every casino. This is the most Asian shit in Vegas, right? You go to every single casino. You stop at Bellagio. You get the $10 players card, right? They give you $10 if you're a new player.
Yep,
And then
yep.
you play, you lose, you get the buffet there, maybe a free buffet, and then you go to the next hotel, get the $10 players
Yeah.
card, and then you just do a whole hotel tour,
Yeah.
and you end up getting like $100 free credit.
Yeah, no, they're doing that, and then they do, but sometimes they just take you home. They take the voucher and then they just mill about the food court really slowly. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Waiting for
Yeah.
the next bus.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Yeah.
But your dad, someone went up to you killed your set at the MGM, right?
Yeah, I was doing a week at the Brad Garrett's Comedy Club. This was, I think, a few years into stand-up where I'm comfortable enough to like invite my parents out, you know, to see it. And I thought, you know, the MGM, like it's a good place.
Yeah.
It's a great club. Let me see. Let me show them that I'm actually doing pretty well. And I had a really good set. you know, everybody was laughing. I made sure I took care of my parents and everything, like sat them in a good seat, paid for the bills, and then as the crowd was filtering out, you know, people were like shaking my hands, taking pictures or whatever, and I saw my parents. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make them wait. I'm gonna let them see how loved I am, you know. And then they eventually came out, and I wasn't gonna say anything to them, you know, because Asian people who don't say "I love you," "I'm proud of you" on the surface.
Right.
And my buddy Jack, who was the feature act that night, he went up to my dad. He was like, "Hey, sir, you got to be really proud of your son. I mean, how funny was he? How funny was he?" And my dad was like, "No, he's not funny." He's like, "No, I don't understand what stand up. No, I don't. It's just."
But he likes Silicon Valley though.
He does, but I mean, he still doesn't give it up. He's like, "Yeah, your stand up's not funny, but Silicon Valley's pretty funny." You and your big guy friend, it's funny, but it's because of good writing on the show. He's still not giving it up fully. I don't know. Well, like how does your parents think about, you know?
I mean, my grandma was always super into it, but my dad like thought it was going crazy.
Right.
Yeah, he thought I was hitting like a weird manic episode.
Right. Like they think it's a phase that you're gonna snap out of.
They think it's like the equivalent of like you know, leaving home, going on the road, stripping.
Yeah.
You know, working at gas stations.
Yeah, they probably got like the incense and like just praying.
Being a lot lizard. Yeah, exactly.
Oranges and shit, you know.
Yeah, they're throwing fruits at you. Yeah.
Because they don't even he probably don't even understand rap, right? Like, does he?
No, my dad is from Queens. Like he doesn't even speak Chinese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
he's hood. Like
he's Jim Tan Laundry. He's very. You know, he does like aggressive exercises. You know.
What does that mean?
He exercises like aggressively. You know. He really wanted me to be like a meat inspector. See, you were like going to
wait, what?
He wanted me to be like
a meat inspector.
He never wanted.
Was he a meat inspector?
No, he wasn't. But he knows that there's like it's kind of like a really dope career, like in terms of benefits, you know.
It is.
It is, yeah, yeah. And there's a shortage, yeah. So he never wanted me to.
Well, now you guys know.
Yeah, and air traffic controller is the highest suicide rate, but very high entry level pay. So.
What are we talking about? 6 figures or?
I'm talking about like 80, 85
That's
entry.
Nice.
So
wow.
he really wanted me to become an air traffic controller at JFK, and I was like. Oh, yeah, I could be tight.
Yeah, we don't care about suicide rates.
But it has a really high suicide rate. And, yeah, like a proctologist, like the assistant to a proctologist, you know. Like, it was never like, go to med school.
You're the one spreading it? Like,
yeah,
while the doctor goes in?
I'm the one icing it. I'm, like, icing it.
Oh, my God.
You know, I take a picture. But, yeah, he never wanted me to go to...
That's all, like, you know, that's all parents want, is practical stuff that you can be safe and make money. I don't think my dad was, like, literally against the arts. I think if he could have made it, he wanted to be an artist too, right?
When they die, they just want you to be happy, like taken care of.
Yes, exactly. They want you to be taken care of.
Right.
And I think the fear was, like, when I started doing stand-up, because I turned down an internship in at Smith Barney, which is like a pretty high-end financial firm, you guys would know, like to do stand-up, you know, and he doesn't get it because, like, if he got a job offer when he was like 22 to go work at Smith Barney, he'd be like over the moon. You know what I mean?
I would be. I would do it right now. If they offered me just as a bookkeeper, I would do it. That's like a baller ass firm for like an internship. You know?
Nora, you're a movie star. Okay?
I don't know. You know, we'll see.
So I think they just don't get it. Like, there's not really any stand up when I grew up in Hong Kong, and it's definitely not something you can make money. And so...
Is there even a word for stand-up in Chinese?
Say what again?
Is there a word for stand-up comedy in Chinese?
Now I think there is. There's a comedy club in Hong Kong when I visited called a Takeout Comedy Club. Very stereotypical name.
Yeah, what the hell does that mean?
It's mostly...
Yes.
But it's mostly like expats and performing in front of expats. So
yeah.
like, you know, English-speaking people.
Right.
In China... where my dad grew up in mainland China, there's this in Mandarin it's called I think xiangsheng or something like that. It's like a 2-act, like a 2-man act. It's more like a sketch, and like it has a rhythm. It's like,
and
imagine
it's
it's
like
like
the little monkey guy comes out.
What?
You've ever seen that?
Oh, you're talking about the Beijing stuff when the guy shakes the fan and like
the little monkey comes out. The monkey's
yeah.
like mischievous. You gotta watch out for that guy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a mischievous.
Yeah, and they paint the face white. That shit always scares me.
Dude, the monkey used to scare me so much.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look human. And then those the dragons with the gongs.
Yeah.
I don't like that. It's like firecrackers. I don't like that. It's very, very startling.
Yeah, so I think, at the end of the day, they just want like me to be safe. Like now, I still don't think he gets it. He still most of the time doesn't think I'm funny, but at least financially, I'm okay.
Yeah.
So I'm safe. He doesn't have to worry about me.
Right.
So and at the end of the day, I think that's what most parents want.
Was the moment of recognition for him when you got Silicon Valley? Like, when was like the moment of recognition?
He doesn't get it. Like
he's still. I mean, your parents love you. I met them in Singapore. They're really supportive and cute.
On the surface, in front of
Your
strangers.
mom's so cute.
Asian parents are on their best behavior in front of strangers.
Now, his parents I liked your parents a lot. They're really cute.
They're nice.
Yeah, they're nice.
Yeah. What was I gonna say?
The moment of recognition.
Oh, yeah, the moment of recognition. So the Silicon Valley thing happened. Like, I knew when I became like a series regular, that was like a huge deal for any actor.
Yeah.
Right? That's like you go from guest starring $900 a day on SAG rate, which is
honey
already a
wagon.
big deal for a comedian to guest star on TV shows or any actors coming out of theater school. So I was doing that, but like I was meandering around. You don't make enough money. You guest star on like at best 3 shows a year.
Right.
And that's really good already. But you make what, $3,000 plus some residuals. But when you become a series regular, you make more than scale. And I knew for me that was a life-changing moment. And I called my dad. I was like, "Hey, Dad," so I became a series regular on this HBO show. And he was like, "What does that mean?" Like, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm getting paid money now. I'm signed to a contract." He's like, "Oh, good. So you have a job." I'm like, yeah. So that's what he got from that, So I don't know if I think the Chinese newspaper is very important to him.
Yes.
That's huge, right? Joe Wong years ago. Remember Joe Wong? He's a stand-up comedian. He was on Letterman, and he was very popular for a bit. And I think I was probably in certain ways doing better than Joe Wong in certain aspects. Mm-hmm. But my dad would tell me like, "Oh my God, did you see this guy Joe Wong? He's in the Chinese newspaper."
Yeah.
And he does that to me consistently.
Right.
He was just telling me about my friend Natasha Liu, who's in Crouching Tiger.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who she's an Australian actress,
Yeah.
and she's like blowing up in China. And then she's like, "Oh my God, do you know this girl, Natasha?" Blah blah. And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, like she's like a friend. It's like no big deal." But like it doesn't connect. And well, of course, when we shot Crazy Rich Asians, we should talk more about that. Yeah.
That was fun.
When we shot Crazy Rich, have you guys read that book, Crazy Rich Asians? Yeah, I'm super excited about it.
Yo, he's like one of the best characters in the whole movie.
No.
He's hilarious.
No. It's gonna be the breakout. No, but seriously, we're both great.
Well, yeah.
Seriously.
We both killed it. We murked it. It's good.
No, it's a really great movie. We just saw a screening 2 weeks ago.
It was really good. Really good. We're promoting that, so go see that.
Yeah, it's not just like good for like the Asian community. It's actually like great.
It's good for white people too. Yeah, so it's good all
great
around. Yeah, all across
movie.
is good. Yeah, it's really good.
It was, I don't know, like I couldn't come up with ending for the book. When I was writing it, and then I went to Malaysia and Singapore to shoot Crazy Rich Asians, and that was like the first time I felt like, because for so long, especially being an immigrant, I don't know how you guys feel, especially the people that are born, born here. I try so hard to be American, like almost too hard, and try to be as not Asian as possible, right? Because you want to fit in, you don't want to be made fun of and all that. So not that it was intentional, but like I didn't only hang out with Asian friends like a lot of people. So I don't want to be that dude from like Koreatown or Chinatown that only had Asian friends, right?
Well, yeah, because that's kind of it causes you. I was the same way.
Yeah,
Asian
like
people didn't
stereotypical.
like me.
Oh, really?
Well, no, not the cool Asians, like the North Face menthol Asians. Like they thought I was weird.
Yeah, and you want to fit in, like with all the kids, especially when you're younger.
Yeah.
So I think, and even on set, right, or even in the music industry, usually you're probably the only Asian person on a set, right?
Yeah.
And you're playing the Asian something, and you just kind of like proud to like be Asian, which is fine. But when we shot Crazy Rich Asians, it was like everybody
Was Asian. They were all Asian.
So me being Asian wasn't the special thing. I was hired because I was funny, and you were hired because you were
Yeah.
funny. And then there's people that were hired because they were models,
Because
not,
what would you,
not me.
Well,
you know?
I mean,
and,
definitely some.
You know, when I first heard Crazy Rich Asians was being made, I called my managers. I was like, guys, this is gonna be a huge movie for us Asians. Just please let me try auditioning for the lead role. I don't care. Like, just let me try, okay? Just let me try. I just need a shot. And then my manager's like, look, Jimmy, I don't know how to tell you this, but they're looking for a good-looking guy for the lead role. And I'm like, okay, I understand. That's not my type.
But you were too skinny for Bernard.
Yeah, so I play this character, Bernard Tai, who's
Who's
like
ratchet,
who's
to
a
say the like. This
fat
character
asshole.
is like
he's fat. Like, he's supposed to be fat. But it was really fun playing that character. You just go all out. But you know, everybody there, literally, it was like the most beautiful, the most talented, the funniest Asian people in the same movie. And I was like, in the first time in a long time, I was like so proud, and I want to be like more Asian.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, yeah, but the thing is, like, when you put a group of Asian, like Asian blank whatever, you know what I mean, in a group, like, it's gonna force them and a certain sense of individualism to come out. So they have to be different than one dimensional. If you're the only Asian in a cast, you're not really shining. You know what I mean?
You're the Asian guy.
You're just the Asian. But if you're forced in a group with people, like I did some press. I met Michelle Yeoh, and she was saying to a reporter, she was like, it's so weird. Like, I can't even imagine what it would be like to feel like different in a country that's like not my own, because she's like is in Asia, so she's not used to, like, she has no idea what it's like she doesn't understand why we talk about the struggle, why we talk about representation. Like, she just doesn't get it because she doesn't need to. So it's like, I think it's a good step, you know. So
it's gonna be a big step, and
I hope
for
it
me,
does well.
like for me, even personally, like that's how I came up with the ending, because it kind of came full circle of me, you know, being very Asian coming here to trying to be as American as possible. We're trying to work at a strip club where I don't really belong, and.
Although your relationship with Shooter was very tender and loving.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
that sounded weirder. It was a very nice relationship.
We'll talk about that. But,
Yeah.
But let me finish my thought here. And then that movie allowed me and Nico Santos, great comic. He was also in the movie. He went back to the Philippines for the first time since he immigrated here.
Saw his nanny.
Because of Crazy Rich Asians. Saw his nanny, and Nico's made it. You know, he's on Superstore, so he's like taking care of people back home now. I can't really do that, because I mean, Philippines is a little cheaper than Hong Kong. I can't afford anything in Hong Kong. So I went back to Hong Kong for the first time after the shoot of that movie.
The first time? That was when
in 17 years.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it was just a great feeling, because I think I've avoided going back there, because I think I've changed so much, and I'm afraid the city has changed so much that it will kind of ruin my whatever childhood memory that I had. But I went back, it was great, and it came full circle. Like, I just felt, you know, so embraced. Like, I was just a dude, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't the Asian dude or whatever, you know. I didn't have to, like when we're shooting the movie, we're like, hey, Nora, hey, Harry, hey, Henry, meet at the lobby, we'll go get some food.
Right.
And we just got like food, and everybody was kind of on the same page. We're all foodies. We went to like the best dumpling restaurant. We ate some weird shit.
I just
like,
was into food.
Yeah. And but here, like with my friends, like on the group chat, you know, I got a Persian friend, I got a white friend. I'm like, can we go? Like, do you guys want to go to a Chinese restaurant? They're like, nah, I don't know. I'm like, and then I gotta convince them, like, this is actually authentic, but you guys are able, like, you guys will be cool with it. Yeah, you guys will like it. So it's none of that. That's gone.
Yeah.
And especially when I'm in Hong Kong, like, I'm not just like an Asian dude stereotypically eating dim sum in fucking Chinatown, you know?
Right.
I was just a dude having lunch. So that really was able to help me really kind of see who I really am and like kind of find what I'm about. And I'm still going through that process, because the movie finished shooting in August. And immediately after I came back from the movie, I think that happened to a few people.
We got depressed.
We got depressed.
Yeah.
I broke up my girlfriend because she was too white.
Oh, shit.
And
God damn.
well, no, it was, her favorite restaurant was Applebee's. I mean, what the fuck?
What's wrong with Applebee's?
I mean, that's your favorite restaurant, though?
I mean, I'll tell you, it's up there.
I mean, amongst other reasons. But, you know, it made me realize, like, instead of trying to be, I think the reason why I seriously dated her, because she was like a tall.
She was hot.
She was, well, okay.
She was hot.
You make me sound like a super vain asshole, but
No, she was hot.
She was hot, but like she was like a tall, like back in the day, high
Hot,
school
yeah,
prom queen
yeah.
or whatever. That's like the all-American girl. That's what I wanted because I was trying so hard to be American. But really, we weren't that compatible. So this trip kind of showed me like, dude, like I need to go out with some Asian girls, man. Like, what the fuck's wrong with me?
You know, you know how I found myself in Malaysia?
Huh?
I went to Phuket and I saw an older couple having sex in the business lounge.
What?
Yeah. So that day had a real significant impact on. I saw Malaysian Airlines go down twice in a row, right?
Yeah.
As like, I don't know how old I was. I saw it go down twice in a row, and I was like, oh, thank God I'll never ride that airline.
Oh yeah.
Then I went to Malaysia. I was on that airline
Yeah.
every day. Every day.
Yeah.
We would have turbulence.
And then you saw.
I thought we were going down.
Was that couple also having sex?
No, they were having sex it was like the Qatar Airway, and they were in Phuket, and she was wearing a Starbucks shirt. It wasn't that she worked at Starbucks. She was just wearing a T-shirt with the Starbucks
Right, because
logo.
Asian people love branding.
No, she wasn't Asian. She was like they were
Oh.
like French or something, and
Oh.
they had drank a lot of the business lounge champagne, and she was riding them.
Huh. That's cool.
It was horrifying. So, Asia meant a lot to me as well, and I really, yeah. I went to China years ago, but it's cool that you speak all three because you lived in. You speak,
I speak Cantonese growing up in Hong Kong.
How is Shanghainese different than it's just Lao Si instead of Lao Shi? You know what I mean? Is that how you would describe the difference?
Yeah, so Mandarin is like I guess the broad generic Chinese language that everybody speaks. That is what you teach your kids in school. Cantonese is the language you speak in Hong Kong, and Shanghainese is what I speak back home to my parents because they're from Shanghai. And they're very different. Like you can't understand each other. Like
Shanghai and Shanghainese and Chinese, you can't understand.
Yeah. So you just said what teacher, right? So in
How do you say like I like a teacher that like is dope?
let's just say teacher. I think that might be a little too much.
Okay, fine.
So teacher in Cantonese will be lo si, right? And in Mandarin it'd be what did you just say? Lao shi. That's a very northern pronunciation.
Beijing, yeah.
Lao shi.
Yeah.
And in Shanghainese it'll be lao si.
Oh.
So it's quite different. And
That's different.
Can't really understand each other.
Yeah.
And even when I grew up in Hong Kong, I was kind of made fun of because I was speaking Shanghainese to my parents because Hong Kong
Yeah.
people got like a superiority complex.
Why? Because it's Hong Kong and they have like Louis Vuitton.
Well, yeah, Hong Kong. Well, first of all, it was a British colony, so it wasn't under the communist rule. So they think they're better.
Right.
And some Hong Kong people are so stuck up. You tell them, you're like, oh, hey, so are you Chinese? You ask them, you're like, hey, are you Chinese? They're like, no, I'm British.
Okay. It's like okay.
I'm like, no, motherfucker, you're not. Yeah.
That's funny. That's yeah.
What's the format?
Yeah,
didn't
should we
come up here
leave?
with a
Are we
plan
leaving or what? Do we have a Q&A? Can we open it up to the crowd?
How much time do we have, Nicholas? Like half an hour more?
Great.
Oh, we're also doing a giveaway. I
It's a
posted this on
good
my Twitter
giveaway, dude.
and my Instagram. It's gonna be great because I got like a swag bag from Colbert.
It's
so when you do
good.
like talk shows, to give you a really cool swag bag, and I don't really,
I want the
use this-
23andMe.
Okay.
I already took it, but
Okay.
I still want another one.
Well, she already won the
Because
raffle.
it told
but
me
there's
that-
like literally 10 things in there. They're like really cool gourmet stuff and like really good stuff. So
It's an act of God.
We're
what
gonna
he's
do a
doing.
giveaway here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give away my Colbert swag bag.
Yeah.
So
But
we
they
got
have to fight for it.
Yeah. So I guess we can open it up for some questions and then we can do a giveaway. How about that? Is there an extra mic for them, or they can yell really loud?
Can you yell?
Okay. Cool. I'll repeat. Yeah. So does anybody have any questions? Hello, sir. Mike Judge. So he asked me what's it like to work for Mike Judge. He thinks he's vastly underrated. Mike is a genius, and the funny story about Mike is he was my commencement speaker when I graduated UCSD, and he was talking about how he hated being a physics major, and he worked at the guy's a genius. He worked on like fighter jets, programming the computers on them in the 80s, and he worked at Silicon Valley for a chip company in the 80s, and he was talking about how much he hated it. This was 2010, way before the show Silicon Valley, and he said eventually he found his passion in like comedy and animation, and that really spoke to me because I was lost too, and I wrote all that in the book. And then just by complete coincidence, he didn't know I was sitting in the audience that day, And 5 years later, he gave me my first big break on Silicon Valley because he's the creator of the show Silicon Valley. He's a genius. But he's not Hollywood at all. Like, he's a super American dude. Like, he just drinks Bud Light all the time. And he's a quiet dude, but he's super funny, Like, I think he's underrated because he's not Hollywood. But in a way, one of the realest people you know. And some of his stuff, like Office Space, right? Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill. They're all great stuff, and some of them have like great box office financial success. But it's kind of fringe, like it's a cult fan base.
It's campy.
Because I think it takes a certain amount of intelligence to understand.
I didn't understand King of the Hill when I was little.
Oh, really?
I didn't. When I was like 5, 6, or 7, I didn't understand it.
Oh, right. I don't. I mean,
it's hard to understand, but it's a cartoon,
yeah,
so it's like misleading.
So I think it's a lot of satire. It takes some brain power to understand. And when he directs, Mike is a great director because he just knows comedy. And he doesn't give you any technical notes, right? Like, he's not like, say it this way, say it like that. One of the main notes he gave me was, I think, episode... do you guys all watch Silicon Valley here? Some of you? Okay, cool. So, like, episode 2, it's the I Eat the Fish episode. And this was, like, way before the Jian Yang character was, like, molded. I just had, like, one other episode. So we're still kind of in the phase of molding. And we never have any conversation beforehand about how we should make this character or, like, what we're going to do. We just kind of do it, and we feel it out. And Mike just came up to me. He just gave me one note. He was like, okay, before you say I eat the fish the second time, just look at TJ, and I don't know what you're doing, but you're doing something with your blank expression. Just keep doing that. And hold it for like 3 seconds. And then say, yes, I eat the fish. And he keeps saying, he's like, I don't know why, but it's going to be hilarious. And it turned out to be like the crew. Yeah, the crew was like cracking up, and he just got that instinct. And he knew, and that really helped mold that Jian Yang character also, that trait. So he's very intuitive in that sense. Does that answer your question? Great. Cool. Hello. Like in my career, or like by like a female, or... the worst rejection. Man, that's tough. I mean, you get rejected so much in acting, right? You just develop a thick skin.
I was added to a pilot, and then I thought that it was so dope that I got a pilot, and then I did the table read after I had got, like, after the chemistry test and all that. I was, like, in the table read, right? And, like, I didn't really read the pilot. So then the next day, they replaced me.
Wow.
That was sad. I was sad.
Yeah, pilots are tough.
Pilots are tough.
Like,
but
I'm
I also
so
didn't
lucky.
go, so like, fuck y'all, you know what I mean?
That's money. That's that network money.
Yeah.
I'm so lucky, like, I snuck on Silicon Valley because I started as a guest star, and then they made me a series regular, which I chronicle in this book. Not that I need to sell you on it.
Buy the book. It's a great
They bought
book.
it already.
Buy the book. It's on sale.
No. There's no more discounts. You guys bought it already. And one of my favorite parts in the book is actually I have an audition log. I used to keep a very detailed audition log, and it's the 101 auditions I went on. I went on exactly 101 auditions, and my 102nd audition was Silicon Valley. So it's a ton of failed auditions on there. Some roles I got, like I had 2 lines on Two Broke Girls. That was my first acting job. But I got rejected from almost all of those 100 auditions. It was McDonald's commercials, Chili's commercial where I'm eating a buffalo wing.
That would have been so good.
Oh
though.
wait, I got a story. That would be good.
That would've been good.
Yeah, I got a good rejection story. So when I first came to LA, I was looking for an agent just like everybody else, right? So I literally put on my lacasting.com profile like new in town, looking for an agent.
Was it like OkCupid for an agent?
No, for real. This is like how you get like date raped if I was on like OkCupid. It's just like you sense the desperation. This is how I get taken advantage of. And then, but I was desperate. And then there's 2 really small agencies that actually hit me up. And one of them I drove. It was in Westwood, which is a really good area in LA. I drove, and then my car, I went to the address. It was an apartment building. I was like, oh shit, maybe I got the wrong address. But it was the right address. And I walked in, and there was a sign-up sheet there, and I realized the agency was in the apartment rental office. And then
They were
do you guys have apartment rental offices here? Like, it's just like an office. Like, imagine you just walk into like the lobby of Chase, and that's the agency. Like that, it's a non-agency, right? And then I walked in. They handed me like a commercial sides, like to read Staples commercial. The guy just handed it to me. He's like, "Slate your name." I didn't even know what slate your name meant. Let me just say your name to the camera. And I was like, "Staples, you know, where everything you need is blah 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 da da da." And then they're like, "Okay, yeah, thanks," and that was it. And I got rejected.
That's like not really that big of a rejection, you know what
But
I mean?
it was out of an apartment rental agency. You don't want to. It's they didn't even want me.
I see. Okay, I see now. That's tight. That's a good. I mean,
Way to shit on my point, Nora. Just like that's not even that bad. I don't know why you so sensitive.
You risen from the ashes like a phoenix. You know what I mean?
But you wanted a good rejection story.
That was a really good one. Yeah, right. It was really good. That was tight.
That's the best I can do.
You're always gonna get rejected. You know what I mean? By men and.
Next question. Yeah.
Jimmy, first of all, I want to say thank you. Very excited to be here and a big fan.
Thank you.
You gave Asian, I think, all Asian audience a lot of inspiration as a comedian, as a funny guy who breaks into the mainstream. You proved that by having attending the Stephen Colbert talk show.
Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah.
That was very cool. Very dope. He was not very, because I watched that episode yesterday, he was not as active as he used to be, like very witty. Because I think that proves the point. Still, there are regular white people when they see a guy from
Okay. Yeah.
country ruled by communist party,
Uh huh.
they're getting very concerned. I don't know if that's
Okay. So yeah. So he's saying that he's very proud of me and I'm awesome. And well, I mean, you know, in so many words.
Yeah.
And then he said he saw my appearance on Colbert, and Colbert seems a little less energetic than normal.
Towards
and
communist people?
Towards Chinese people. So somebody
Towards
non-white.
Chinese? Oh.
So maybe you're saying that he's careful because. Yeah, the cultural differences. So I did actually see that comment on YouTube. A few people commenting like, is it just me or is like Colbert kind of being a dick to him?
What was
or
he
something
saying
like
to
that?
you?
He wasn't. I thought he was fine, but maybe he was a little less energetic or something. I don't know. But there's a point I do want to say to that though. I think, especially being an actor or being in the arts, I can't look at things that way.
Yeah.
That's not healthy for me, right? Like, say if I get rejected from an audition, I can always say, "Oh, it's because I'm Asian. They don't want me." But maybe because I sucked, you know? Like maybe like I just bombed the audition, like the
Exactly.
Staples commercial. It's not because I'm Asian. Maybe I suck.
It just was sucky, yeah.
Yeah, so I never try to think that way. I can see maybe how other people think, oh, it's because I'm Asian. That's why he's a white man. And then when he sees me, he's racist. And
Right.
to me, that's kind of being racist to Colbert also.
Right.
True or not, I don't know. If he was actually being a dick, then maybe not. But I thought he was fine. And I was having fun on there, but I just try to really avoid that mindset because I don't think that gets you anywhere.
sorry, it's not my point. My English is not my native language.
You can speak Mandarin if you want. I'll translate it.
我的意思就是说，因为我觉得作为因为作为亚洲人到美国来的话，刚开始进入这个美国社会比较很难适应，比如说他们的文化，尤其是比如说在这个玩笑上面啊，开玩笑，我觉得最好的方式是能够跟他们一块儿，就是说能够知道他们的玩笑
交流，对吧？啊哈。
我觉得有没有这种可能，就是我想也想问一下，就是你的下一步的计划是什么？是不是有这个可能，比如把一些中式的幽默和美式的幽默结合起来，然后让很多的亚洲的朋友们能够更加的了解美国的这个幽默，然后更加的
Very interesting. So you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, that as a person, he's from China, that a lot of times there's a disconnect between American humor and Chinese humor. So you're saying, is there a way to bridge it that we understand each other? I think for me, I don't even know what Chinese.
开玩笑.
开玩笑.
开玩笑, laugh.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
that's the only one I got. And 可能.开玩笑.
I think it is. Humor is very cultural. Like I would like to think, say, okay, funny's funny, but it's not. Like if I were to take my act to China, say my stand-up act that works here, not only do I have to translate it to different language, I have to change the whole act.
wouldn't work.
Because they don't like it doesn't
They don't know
doesn't
what
pertain.
Buffalo Wild Wings is.
They don't know.
Yeah, they don't. Like people always ask me, like, do you think that you do dope like in
Yeah.
China because
Yeah.
you rap? And it's like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't have a word for queef. You know, there's no Chinese word.
That's very true. So you got to change your whole act, not just the language. But for me, I think because I developed my act here in America, and I don't know too much about Chinese humor, I would think my act's more westernized, and in that sense.
Chinese people, they have the monkey that comes out and he's very
Yeah,
mischievous.
it is a different sense. I've seen like comedy sketch shows that like the government
Dude,
put on.
they're pretty lit though.
They're not bad.
They're not bad.
But then the audience, you see the audience, they're like, that's them laughing. It's like.
It's like the North Korean Olympians. Yeah.
Yes.
They're just
It's
like,
it's and they don't even clap synchronized. It's weird.
they love doing the Soldier Boy dance though. Have
they
you been
do.
to
What
Beijing?
is like crank that?
I went to a club in Beijing. I love Beijing. My grandma's from there. We went to a club. Soldier Boy came on. The whole dance floor did the Soldier Boy dance. But then it ended, and other songs started to play, and it was just that for 4 hours.
Wow, just Soldier Boy on
It
a
was
loop.
over and over again.
Damn, just all right.
It's pretty lit.
And then he said, do I plan on maybe bridging more to the Chinese culture of humor? Right? Is that your question? Yeah. I thought about that. People always tell me that, man, China is just such a big market. Like Joe Wong, for example, he was doing Letterman here. He did pretty well here. Just his 5-minute sets really killed. And then he actually rewrote his whole set. He went through the same problem. He rewrote his whole set and became like pretty successful in China. I don't know
what
what
does he talk about? Have you seen his set?
I haven't, to be honest.
You could bridge that gap because you can speak the language. You
Now,
can speak
see,
3 languages.
I could,
But you don't want to.
but I don't want to.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Not that I don't. Of course I want the Chinese fans, but it would take a lot of power. I would have to immerse myself in Chinese culture in order to do it right. I have to go live in China.
I would never
and
even know
stuff
how
like
to
that.
I wouldn't even know how to start.
So I mean, I'm doing pretty okay here. You know, like
Yeah.
with the TV, with the
doing
with
all
the
right.
books and stuff like that. So I don't think I have plans to do that, but in the future, it is something I'm interested in because I do want to see what makes them tick. You know, does that answer your question? Thank you. Thanks for the question. Nora, you want to pick a guy?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You. Yeah. And
Stripes?
in the stripes and the yes.
Hi.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think I might have said a little bit of this earlier. It's just I want to take some time off of stand-up to write something more truthful. Because in stand-up, you expected to get a laugh every 2-3 seconds, right? You basically going up on stage like, hey, I'm funny. So when you do something that's like takes longer, because I think a lot of meaningful stories take a lot longer, and good stories aren't always just funny, right? Like it's like Nora was saying, like some stories make you feel something or make you relate. Right. So I want to write more stuff like that, and I start jotting down stories that I've told my friends for many years, but not necessarily just in a funny way. And mainly, I think it's important. Like I never try to choose like a partisan side on the immigration issue. I try to stay out of politics. I don't think that's it's weird. Like I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus, but a lot of comedians, actors, once they get a following, they feel like they need to get political. I think that's very up their own ass. Like us as entertainers, we should. My job, I think, not that we should. My job, I just entertain. Part of my job is to take your mind off of a crazy day, right? By you coming to stand up and you forget about it for a while. That's my job. So with this book, I just want people to relate and also see the immigrant story from a real, honest point of view, see it from my point of view, and come up with their own conclusions. Because a lot of times people, maybe they don't have any empathy towards immigrants or Asian people of a different race because of ignorance. They don't know anybody like me, or they never heard a real story like me. All they know is Mexican people jumping over the border or something like that. That's because that's all they hear on the news. So if you see like a real story of me actually coming to this country, hopefully that will change their mind. And I'm not out there to try and change their mind. And hopefully that reading this story will give you a more informed opinion. So I think that's important to me. And I feel great when people tell me like Nora, or hopefully you guys after reading the book, maybe you guys came from an outsider point of view trying to make into the arts, or an outsider trying to make in a different country, assimilating. If you guys can relate to a bit of that and just feel less crazy, I feel like, I've kind of done my job. Oh, are we both picking? Here, go ahead. Go ahead. I picked
Let
two.
me
You
be the
pick one. You pick
picker.
one.
I
You
want to
pick.
be the picker.
She be the picker.
Okay, yeah.
Hello. Thank you, sir. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. So my guy here is writing a show himself. Good for you. That's awesome. And he wants to know how we built the character and the process of me from a guest star to becoming a series regular. It's an interesting thing because I wasn't there from the get-go in Silicon Valley. So I don't know how much of that question I can answer, right? Because I wasn't there part of building the show. And this show is very interesting. I think every show is a different dynamic. Some shows, the writers will talk to the actors, and then they'll come up with the plot lines, come up with the characters. For us, like we really have like geniuses work in the writing room, and they're not closed. Like they're open to our ideas, but at the same time, I think they put enough trust in us that whenever they write something, they know we can deliver it, and they know it's the right tone. Like especially after a few years, then you come with the character. But what's interesting about Silicon Valley is they listen to us, not just as actors, not literally us telling them, but when we improv, they listen to that. When we just chat, when I'm just grabbing a beer with Mike Judge, he kind of feels like, okay, he's more this guy. He can actually do more of this. And I think like Zach Wood's character, right? Zach, he becomes more of a character because Zach help come up with that through his improv. They see he's improving all these like outlandish, crazy things like speaking German or like whatever. So they start writing into that character more because they see the funny. So they do listen to us that way. And sometimes it's not just like a pitch like, hey Mike, how about I do this? That kind of never works. You gotta always make people think it's their idea, right? So you just do it on set. So that's your pitch, and you improv it.
But Jimmy, let's also be real. Like you made that transition because you were good. You know what I mean? Like they weren't gonna make you a series regular, and then you proved them wrong. So that's you.
Yeah, I think they saw more in that. They're like, okay, we can actually really do something with this dude.
And that's great.
But to the process of beginning, it was actually interesting because I auditioned for the show twice. The first time I auditioned, the original pilot, it was completely different. The guys had made it already. They made millions, hundreds of millions, and my character was a much bigger character. It's like one of the 5 guys, Jian Yang. I auditioned for it, never heard back for like months. What happened was, it wasn't that I sucked, it wasn't whatever. It was just they rewrote the pilot completely to start with their struggle. So it's okay to start from scratch and get some good notes because, what's the fun if they made it already? So it has to be a struggle. And eventually, Jian Yang came back as a smaller role. Does that help your question?
Oh, yes. Your hands up. The scarf. Yes.
He had to look like,
I know.
I'm wearing a scarf.
You forgot you're
Like,
wearing a scarf.
There you go. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Crazy Rich Asians. That's going to be
it's
a
a
Black
movie called
Panther.
Crazy Rich Asians. It comes out this summer. It's really good.
It's coming out in August.
You know what? The producer. Right. The producer of Crazy Rich Asians right now, and I believe that Warner Brothers is definitely trying to get Asian money, or not Warner Brothers specifically, but you know what I mean? Like it's a market. If you look at index funds, right? Like those international funds are doing better than American funds. They want to try to tap into that market, but I don't think that like that's why Crazy Rich Asians is being made. I think that like
it's actually a great story and a great book.
It's a great story. It's a good book, but also like the producer who told me this, she said that this is going to set a precedent for every other minority-led movie as Black Panther did. And so like if Crazy Rich Asians tanks, we won't see it again. You know what I mean? It'll only exist in that small Asian American niche. It'll never leave. And if it does well, then worst case scenario, they make tons and tons of Asian American movies that are really bad. Like they do like a Wreck-It Ralph Asian American version, and it's so bad. And so it's only, it's really time will tell. But I think that like Crazy Rich Asians and Warner Brothers and the producers, they had genuine intentions in making this movie. I think they thought that it was an important
Yeah, I
thing.
think Crazy Rich Asians is the exact answer to your prayers.
Yeah, it's this movie called
sir.
Crazy Rich Asians. You should go see it.
Yeah. Well, it's coming out in August, so bring all your friends. Let's
yes.
do both. I don't. Yeah. Yep. Right. Yep. Yeah, I think you see those scenes in Fresh Off the Boat. Those ring very true. I think to a lot of us. I brought some weird shit. I brought some Shanghainese braised eel to school. And it's weird, but like I think. And I had to defend myself, and I think that's kind of how I developed.
Braised eel's delicious, dude.
Well, but white people, especially when they're like 15, they don't understand. They're like, "Oh, this guy's eating weird shit. He's a weird kid."
Yeah, they do. They are. Yeah.
Right. And I think I opened up the book like my first chapter is my life growing up was like a bad stereotype in Hong Kong. What did I say? I don't fucking remember what I wrote. I played a violin. I was
Ping pong.
I was playing ping pong competitively. And I was like very good at math, but that's just what Hong Kong people did. But when you came here, it became like a stereotype. So I never try to shy away from it. And it's good that, now maybe it's not about shying away from, say, playing ping pong, but making ping pong maybe more mainstream. So like we're not the weird ones.
What does that even mean?
So like we're not the weird ones for playing
Oh.
ping pong. It will be we're the cool ones for being good at ping pong.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Does that make sense?
That still won't happen. But
Yeah, it was just they're stuck at beer pong.
yeah.
But
It's hard being an Asian American kid. You know what I mean? It's just tough because like every single one of us, if we're Asian American at some point in our lives, we were called a chink. We were called with the eye thing. Every single one of us. So that element exists, and the addition of weird food and like things like that, it complicates that experience a little bit more. But I think that like every kid has to come to a moment of like accepting their differences. And it wasn't until I was 19 and I went back to China did I for once like wish that like I was happy that I was Asian and accepted myself instead of being ashamed.
And I think
of it.
when you grow up, you can own up to it more.
Yeah.
When you're younger, you just want to fit in.
When you're young, you just want to be like everyone else.
Yeah.
You don't want
so
to be
I mean,
different.
like for example, like anime. You're talking about manga and stuff.
Only weird kids don't.
Back in the
only
day,
kids-
back in the day, I think that was very weird, right? Like that's very niche Asian stuff. But like now, it's like cool. I see a lot of regular people. Dude,
White people love
I
hentai.
went to a white girl's place in Iowa,
Oh.
and she had manga posters
That's why you
on
were,
her wall.
That's why you were at her place. dude.
Exactly.
Because she likes Asian dudes.
Exactly.
That's like me going.
I know I was like in for the win when I saw. I was like, boom, we good.
That's like me going to Moby's house and he has a shoji screen.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? He's like, come and have some
It's
green
just-
tea.
Yeah, man. Like so.
yeah.
It's a positive. It's a positive. So like I sort of got like when Ninja Assassin got made, I got laid more. You know, like you could look at it. Hopefully, it becomes more. But that's to your point. Like it's becoming more mainstream.
Were
and
they
it's
like,
good.
oh my god, are you the guy from Ninja Assassin? Because he's so hot.
I swear to God.
That's tight.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's really good.
I think the book takes you on a journey that I try things on the surface that will make me American. Learn about football, drink beer, get fucked up, smoke weed in college, and I try to be less Asian. I actually try to like subconsciously probably I was like tanking on my grades in college because I didn't want to be like grouped in as an Asian nerdy kid. I grew out my hair, worked at a strip club, didn't go to the finance route, but it took doing that journey to see that, wait a minute, that's not what it's about. I think being an immigrant is just as American as anything else. And like I said, it took that journey back to the Crazy Rich Asians, back to going back to Hong Kong, to really realize that. And so hopefully, I mean, it's hard to say. Like, I can tell people what not to do. Like, don't be stupid and try to be gangster and like work at a strip club. That's useless. That's not how you become American. That's not gonna help you. But sometimes people need to live through that to understand. So I'm glad I lived through that, and now it makes me more proud to be American and Asian American. Do we have more time? Should we do the giveaway? Let's do one more question, and then we'll give away some free shit.
Can we ask trivia questions to give them away, please?
Yes, down. The stripes. She seems very excited.
Yes. Nice arm.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Can you just speak up a little bit? I can. Sure. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Very true. Yep. Middle school. Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting. Uh-huh. Yeah, no, there's definitely a cultural difference. Like, say, even my cousins who come from very similar family background a generation ago, they're very different because they were born here. They were ABCs, American-born Chinese, where I'm not. So when I came here, they were totally Americanized. They didn't call my father uncle. They just called him Richard, and my dad was furious. Like, they're more, Americanized in a way that they don't have that base of the Chinese culture, So I always I'm envious. Like, their life seems easier. They don't have to teeter
That's what I
between
noticed
the
about
two.
you when I first met you, because I wasn't sure if you were born here or if you like whatever.
Right.
But you have a vibe of like, and I don't want this to come off the wrong way, of like, like the Hong Kong uncle with like the chains, and he always picks up the bill. Yeah, you see that? And like he's like super respectful to women, but then like he'll like slap someone, you know what I mean?
never
Like
slapped
no, you want to slap them, but it's a power move, you know what I mean? So you had this kind of like dope like Hong Kong like mahjong, like passing the kids some money from the mahjong win, you know what I mean? It kind of like my grandpa.
No, I feel you. Like,
It's different.
I think maybe when you meet me, I don't have too much of an accent, so you don't know.
You
but
don't,
like,
no.
I think the more you know me, it's like I'm a bit, like
You're more like
traditional.
respect. Yeah.
Traditional or even slightly misogynistic.
Yeah, you don't choke women.
Apparently,
You know what
I don't
Yeah.
know. But yeah, I think so. When it comes to dating, I don't know. I am open to dating everybody, and
yeah, you
maybe
are.
they gravitate, like the ABC people, like they gravitate more towards the more Americanized, and that's when you see maybe they more white people. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the question is. Are you trying to ask me advice on how to date an ABC man, or like what are you talking about here? Like what's the real question? Right, I understand that. Sure. Sure. Yep. Oh, interesting. What's your goal here? What do you want? Like, do you have a crush
There's
on
like a lot
somebody
of
that's an
good-looking
ABC?
ABC men in
This is a
room.
very specific question that she needs
Wait,
answered.
do you want ABC's international students and recent immigrants to interbreed? No, I totally feel. I can see. The
Yeah, no, I
difference.
get it, but I want to actually help her out. This seems like a very Specific question here. Yeah, I think we all
It's-
know it. It's obvious.
Yeah, I mean, it's like kind of. I mean, I would imagine dating like I might have had like a little fling with like someone who was a native Chinese person, and it was kind of like dating like a French guy when you're just on summer abroad. You know what I mean?
And I think
It's like they're just from a different country, but
right.
you know what I mean?
Well, certain people keep this. I think that's an individual basis. Like
It's
I
yeah.
said, me and you, like we hang out everybody. So like,
Yeah.
we date all kinds of people.
We date all kinds
like
of- date
even
everyone.
Yeah, not just within the Chinese, but like
Every
everybody.
single one,
But
everyone.
but like there's some people that only hangs out in K-Town, and
I don't like that.
and they only hang out and they only date, like you said, the group that they comfortable.
You
with.
do
And
know
that's
that
fine.
we're
But you know,
going to
I'm not
K-Town
trying to.
after this. You do know that, right?
Oh, we are.
Yeah, we're going to.
Okay, all right.
It's you always find those the K-Town Asians.
But don't worry about them. If they
Don't worry about
if they're
them.
not trying to fuck with you, don't fuck with them.
Yeah.
There you go. That answers your question. All right, let's do the gift bag.
Okay.
Thanks for standing in the back, guys. It must be tiring.
Can I ask one trivia question for the first one, and then you can just give the rest away? Can I just
Yeah,
ask a
yeah.
trivia question? You guys ready?
Okay,
all right.
wait. I gotta show them what's first.
Okay, what's first? Oh,
Harry's
Yo, this is-
shave set.
this shit is lit. This whole bag is so
no,
lit.
this is tight.
It's so. You should keep that, Jimmy. What are you doing?
I'm giving it away to the people.
All right. Harry's shit. You can also use this on your vaginas too. So women can also bid. You could use it on your back for the ladies that need it.
Razors.
2 backups
It's good shit. And a coupon, I think.
and a coupe and a young coupe. All right.
Asian people love coupons.
And we love coupons. We love shaving.
All right, you got a trivia
Oh
question?
yeah. Okay. What did Kathy Bates use?
And raise your hand, by the way. Don't just scream it out.
What did Kathy Bates use to break James Caan's legs in the film Misery? And you have to. And you have
That
to.
was
There are
it.
2 items.
He's the first
You
hint.
gotta
So
say
any
both.
of the item.
Both items.
Ooh, okay.
Both
Go ahead.
items.
Go ahead.
There was a rock involved, but yes, you can take the Harry.
All right. Come on up.
He killed it. He
That's
killed
a
it.
twisted
Yo, he
question.
Killed it. Yo, come here. High five.
Yeah, nice.
He likes good movie taste.
That scene had me shook, man.
Good memories. Okay, what was the name of Gina Davis's
Wait, hang
character
on,
in?
hang on. I gotta introduce what this is. This is Late Show by Stephen Colbert. Oh, I might actually want to keep this shit. Hang on, man. Let me open this shit real quick. Oh, it's like cookies or something, right?
Oh,
Is it cookies?
I love bows. It's a candy. It's Sugarfina. I should get that shit.
What is sugar peanut? It's like candy?
Yeah.
I don't eat candy, so okay, you guys can have it.
What was the name of the character that Gina Davis played in A League of Their Own?
League of Their Own, Gina Davis.
What was Gina Davis's
Who
character
was
in A League of Their Own?
also in Thelma and Louise. Great movie. Casey, no, you can't win this.
You can't. You just watched A League of Their Own. We watched it together. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, forget it.
Next question.
What was the name of Melissa McCarthy in that Melissa McCarthy movie? Melissa McCarthy.
There you go. All right, here you go.
He got it. You guys can change it up to geography if you want, because I could go all
All
night.
right. Let's speed this through. People gotta go home. I still got
Whoever
to sign
raises their hand
shit.
first.
Hot sauce. Peach slow burn hot sauce. Wait, what? You want it?
Yeah.
All right, you can have it. That's Nora's. I'm sorry. There's some cool. Oh, this water bottle is like super cool. It says hot for 12 hours, cold for 24 hours.
It's a swell. Just throw it really hard.
Look at that. This is good shit, guys. Are we doing questions?
Okay, all right. What is the capital of India? All right, that hand going up first. I saw that hand first.
Go ahead.
What? You got it, buddy.
Okay. I wasn't
you got
sure,
it,
so
bud.
I need to look at it. This
Oh, are you gonna throw it like that?
come
you
up
gonna
a
throw it
little.
like that?
Come up a little. All right, congrats. What else?
Who is a really famous tennis?
A
woman?
jar of pickles.
Those are dope gourmet white people
Okra.
pickles too. Those are dope.
Pickled okra, yo.
Yo, that's tight.
Okay.
All right. What was the name of the female tennis player that it was like there was like a dude that was talking all this shit like she can't beat me, but then she beat him. What was her name?
Billie Jean King. Okay, she said it. Okay, fine. Come.
All right, you got it.
She
You got
broke,
it.
She broke the rule, but okay.
You
whatever.
got it.
It's a jar of pickle. Who gives a shit? Thank you.
Oh my god.
Oh, body wash. This looks like good shit.
Yeah, that's dope.
Okay. It's called Eccentric O2.
Okay.
I don't know
What
how to
is the
spell it.
art of reading tea leaves for psychic purposes?
What did you just say?
You know what I'm talking about. Reading tea leaves to find someone's future. What is that called?
Is this supposed to be Mandarin?
But no, it's not. It's called like tassilography or something like that. What's the capital of Canada?
Yeah, see, that's the right
see, I
answer.
got
That's
you.
the right
I got
answer.
you
Here you
with
go.
that one.
He didn't get tricked though.
Yeah, because I knew the answer, so I got you with that one.
All right, we got I think a couple more things. Hang on. 23andMe.
Damn, yo, this is lit. Asian people are just gonna tell you Asian, and that it's
Yeah.
just gonna tell you Asian. There was a European guy like back in the 15th century that had sex with your grandma, but it's fine.
Do
Welcome
you-
to you. This is a really good one, so I'm gonna make this
She
hard.
like
This-
really wants this.
I took
but
one
she's
already.
gonna-
It said
oh,
you
you
ate.
did?
Yeah, it was just like a Chinese New Year dragon.
I don't care. I know
Asian,
I'm Chinese. So
Okay.
Okay. Go.
Are you just gonna throw it?
I'm not just
Okay.
gonna throw
What
it.
is the town that's connected to El Paso? It's a Mexican town, and it's really dangerous. Yes, he got it.
He needs it. He's white. He needs this.
Because you might be.
Oh, okay. Good. All right. Let's see here.
Let's just give the last ones away because I cut some people off that really wanted stuff. You better keep that blue label.
You guys can have that. Ooh, Black Forest 50-hour candle. Well, I'm not throwing this. This will hurt somebody. Ask him a good one.
Okay, here y'all want a good one? Okay, so what was the name of the lead actor in Rugrats? Not the guy who plays him, just the
Okay,
cartoon character's
that's the
name.
first hand?
Just his name. What's his full name? Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
That's it. You got
You
it.
should have used that for the pickles.
I know. I should
That would've
have.
been nice.
They were okra, Jimmy.
This actually, this smells really good.
I know it's lit. It's a really good candle. Thank you. Is there any more? Who wants my hot? I actually don't want this hot sauce. All right, you're handling up for it. You can have the hot sauce. There you go.
There's
Spice it
bold
up.
and spicy mix. I think this is I don't know, Bloody Mary mix.
Bloody Mary.
Bottle of salt.
That's tight.
I might keep this. I want to keep that bottle. of
Keep
salt.
that salt because the big ones are good. You know.
What is this?
That's a
Charleston Chew.
Young Charleston.
Charleston Chew.
I think you just
There
throw
go.
that right in the middle. There you go.
Oh, sorry, listen.
Sorry.
This whoever runs up on stage first, you can get this. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm kidding. See, nobody wants it. All right, that's it, guys. That's it.
Thanks for coming out, guys.
Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you, Nora, for
Thank you,
helping me out
Jimmy.
on this. And thank you guys all, really, for
Thank
coming
you
out. This is
guys.
the first book live signing. You guys all came out. Go tell a friend. I really appreciate the support. I mean, this is what we need to do, you know what I mean? So hopefully this book can turn into the next Crazy Rich Asians.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Thanks, guys. I guess I'll be signing something back there, right? Okay, cool.